What's up guys, Steven Dexter. Well, at first, happy holidays to you guys. And we're in Hawaii right now doing the final year vacation. Oh, we're gonna get pulled over and come back now. So hopefully you guys are enjoying your holiday as well. So I have been getting a lot of beginner requests. What do I use? What software do I use? What brokerage do I use? And what kind of indicator do I use? And it's very beginner questions. And today I'm gonna go over every single one of them. And just to make sure in the future nobody asks me the same question again.
That just happened.
Let's get into it. If you haven't checked out my podcast with Ryan Higa.
So when you get dumped by someone, you kind of feel like not very confident. So you want to gain confidence back by achieving something.
So please do. And I did get a lot of beginner questions of that video. So this video is dedicated for you guys. And you guys are just coming to my channel, so welcome. And I do see a lot of beginner questions from the past few videos. So if you're just starting the recent video, you won't be able to understand what I'm talking about, what type of pattern I'm using. And I would suggest go back a year ago, maybe like 6 months ago, to just focus on the beginner lessons that I talk about. The tips about beginners, what software here and there. But in this video, I will be covering all beginners. What software should you use? What do I recommend? Let's get started. So first, if you watch the Ryan video and you see, okay, well, Steven turned $27,000 into $900,000 in the first year. And you guys are very, very eager to jump into this industry or in the stock market. And the answer is, I took about 6 months before just trying to study, using a little bit of money and testing there and there. So number one, I won't really suggest you to jump in right away and wire your money into your brokerage account and start trading, because you have no idea what you're trying to get into. So before you get into this industry, make sure you take a couple months or a couple, take time to do your research, learn what float is, what market cap is, and get used to the industry before you're really using your real money to start. Now, during the first couple of months, I think you should really look into what software should you use and what type of brokerage you should use, because there's a lot of brokerage out there and they're favoring into different traders. And Interactive Broker are very good for buying. They're not very good for shorting. E-Trade are decent for shorting, but their fees are a little bit more expensive compared to Interactive Broker. Then followed by Center Point, Speed Trader, Trade Zero. Those three brokers has really good borrow or hard to borrow. So when you are majoring in shorting, for somebody like me, those brokers are really good for me, just to short hard to borrow stocks. But for exchange, you have to pay a really high amount of borrow fees. I think right now the borrow fees are a little bit too high. I think in the future they will drop it a little bit down. Especially when you have a small account and you want to jump into shorting, the fees will kill you, especially when you have a $3,000 account or $5,000 account. If you have anywhere between $25,000 or above, yeah, I will recommend shorting. Shorting do have better odds compared to going long, especially in the penny stock area. So that will be the suggestion for me, but I will recommend do your own research first. So the third one will be platforms. A lot of people are asking about, well, Steven, what platform are you using? This software I started to use back in 2016. And this software do have a lot of glitches, I'm not gonna lie. The reason why I keep using them because I got used to the charting software and just used to looking at the graphs. I'm thinking about switching into Dash Trader or Thinkorswim in the future. But for beginners, there's a software for free and you can download Thinkorswim, TOS. If you wanna have the access to the historical charts, I think Thinkorswim is the best for you to really do the charting research, let's say a month ago, 2 months ago, or a year ago. And you can go back to the day that was traded, high amount of volume, and just download the chart, take a screenshot, jot it down, and put in your charting books. One of the very important key component that makes me successful, I think, is to go back into these high volume days just to study them one by one. When the stock is trading high amount of volume and is going up about 500%, 1,000%, and you can go into that day and just study the charting behavior and to see if you can find any type of pattern, any type of edge in there. Because when there's a high amount of volume, that means there's very high liquidity and you can size in much bigger and you can make much more profits. The hardest thing is to find the pattern out of all those heavy volume traded days. And that is how I started. I go back into 1 year, 2 years ago, and also go back into, you can go into different websites like Fund Seeders, you can go Profity. So another thing you can do, you can study other people's mistakes, to study other traders' mistakes. At the very beginning, I tried to study Tim Bertani, a lot of traders that I think they're verifying their trades, they're very legit, and they go into their trades and trying to find out Well, in their trading career, what's the biggest mistakes that they made since they started trading? And I will pull that mistakes out and draw it down and to see where they enter, where they exited. And I will find out, okay, so this is how they think when the stock is going against them. I will try and find out the mindset that they were in. Then I will be able to, realize it if the mistakes is coming into my way, and I can be able to avoid it. So studying other people's mistakes is great for your trading career. And if you're just starting, if you're just studying, so that would be a great point to study other people's mistakes. And I think it's a very good idea. So I recommend you do it as well. Let's shrink all those together. So first, find out the brokerage that fits you the best. Interactive broker, good for longs. E-Trade are very good. They're good for shorting and going long as well. Now, if you want to find that stocks are hard to borrow, Speed Trader, Center Point, and Trade Zero, they are generally very good. And I don't really take any permissions from this video. So those are the honest recommendations that I use personally. And next, platforms. I do recommend Dash Trader. I do recommend TOS. I do recommend Equifeed. They're not bad. So those three platforms are pretty suitable for people who are just trying to get started in the trading industry. And number three, now before we get started, you want to go back and find all those key historical charts that happened that stock went from, let's say, 1 to 100, 1 to 30, 1 to 20, again, 5,000%, 1,000%, trying to study the behavior of the chart and to produce an edge out of it. So that's the number three. Number four, go back to all the successful traders. And I think I do have a very solid track record. I do have my account statement audited. And another person I would recommend, it will be Tim Bertani. He's the trader I really admire, and he's also one of my best friends. You can download their trading record from Profity. You can also find good traders from Fund Seeders as well. That's a very legit trading record or trading performance site. You can find great traders in there and study their trades, find their entry, find their exit, and trying to reproduce what they're thinking or what their method is. And that will be a great point for you to really start getting your experience. Now, meanwhile, if you keep, studying the chart and also studying in real time, and every single morning, just keep your platform open and do exactly what I said.
Okay.
All right, so you're scanning for top percent gainers. That will be 20% or up, and it's trading solid amount of volume, 50K or plus or 100K or plus in the pre-market. Now, you don't want to scan for the most down charts that's dropping 50%, 70% today, because when the stock is down that much, it will scare people away. So you will not gain as much liquidity compared to the stock that's trying to go up. And when the stock's going up, people are excited. So in that way, you will find more productive method or better edge in the stock that's trading much more volume. So that will be all tips for beginners. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick today. I'll try to pop this video out to help you guys, try to get started. And if you're interested to join the conference that, for beginners or for people who have traded for a couple of years as well, I think it will be suitable for you to join our conference in March. It will be in the 28th, 29th, and 30th. If you're interested, please, click the link below. And if you're interested, please click the link below. And the discount will be ending within a month. So make sure to grab your tickets. And so that'll be the end of the video. I will see you guys back in Ohio again.